Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Okay, wow, Microvision is taking off. I want to talk about what's going on with Microvision. I want to make a quick note. First of all, thank you to the many people who reached out. They're like, Kevin, I'll help you update the pricing, because I complained about that this morning because it takes me 3 hours to change the pricing. It's something only I can do, because you in order to update the pricing on the courses, you have to have like administrative privileges or whatever. It's a disaster. But anyway, I will be staying up tonight until I actually officially update that pricing. So yeah, in theory, that means I missed my deadline, and if you wanted to still use that HODL coupon code, you could for like a couple hours. But tonight I'll be changing that, and I'm sorry. I should have done it that day. I tell myself I'm just gonna drink a Monster and stay up all night and do it. That's the way I end up convincing myself to do it. Anywho, okay, let's talk about Microvision. So here's the scoop. Microvision just had a big jump in share price here. And it's because of this Microsoft contract that was just acquired. And what I want to do really quick before we talk about this HoloLens is I want to look up the MVIS investor relations, because I want to see what their earnings have been, which I know they've been virtually nothing, because Microvision has been, people have been trying to acquire, or Microvision has been trying to get acquired for quite a while. And they've either been looking for an opportunity to get acquired or to basically work in somebody's company and manufacture products for them. This might be one of those ways to do that, which is incredible. So let's look at their MVIS fourth quarter results. Okay, PDF version. Here we go. All right, so let's look at this really quick. And I just want to look at the revenue. So here's the thing. Their revenue on Microvision, product revenue, was literally nothing in 2020. Like, they got some licensing royalties, right? Thing about Microvision is, even though they have no revenues, they are inside of the Microsoft HoloLens 2. And this thing is, it's expensive. It's like $5,000 or something like that. I think it's like, I don't even know where the pricing is. Where did I see the pricing? I think if I back up here, there you go, $4,950. Yeah, not sure why I can't see that here, but I'm sure it says, oh, there it is, $4,950. And you have to call, or no, okay, you can order, it looks like, from their website. But anyway, apparently inside of this, because people have done breakdowns of what's inside of this, we have a Microvision chip. And this Microsoft just got a deal, like a contract. Let me pull up the contract here really quick. Okay. Oh, my contract. Where the heck is that? Here we go. Okay, so here's the contract per CNBC that just came out. All right, so Microsoft wins U.S. Army contract for augmented reality headsets worth up to $21.9 billion over 10 years. And that's pretty crazy. Microsoft will deliver to the U.S. Army over 120,000 devices based on its HoloLens augmented reality set. Now, keep in mind, it says based on its HoloLens augmented reality set. Currently, we believe the HoloLens 2 does include a Microvision chip. Here's somebody else's video of just kind of like what you see through this. And I mean, I have to say, it's kind of, it looks cool. Let's see, I don't think they show him wearing it. But let's see here. Yeah, look at this. I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, this reminds me of like Halo, having some kind of military. There's Cortana for you. Like, what the heck is this, right? Now, let's keep going here. Look at that. Let's just play this for a second. Let me mute this. And shout out to this person here. We'll shout out their channel here in a second. I mean, the iPhone kind of does stuff like this now, where you could put stuff like with augmented reality on the floor, which does use LiDAR, right? They do use LiDAR. The iPhone has LiDAR. In fact, this little black hole, I think you'll be able to see that. The black hole that's not the camera, I believe, is the LiDAR camera or sensor. Yeah, which obviously we talk about microvisioning. I mean, look at that. That's actually pretty cool. Oh my gosh. We talk about LiDAR a lot regarding cars. Oh, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, this is obviously somebody, toying around with some of the optionality and features here. But I mean, picture this for military purposes, right? Because, I mean, you could essentially have a map, news feed, what your health is. Oh, wait, no, that's Call of Duty. All of these things, like, on the battlefield, in theory, with these overlay headsets, these spatial augmented reality devices. It's that's pretty cool. Jeez, man. The more I go into this video, the more it's like this is pretty cool. So anywho, now this does say based on the HoloLens augmented reality headset. So that probably means that Microsoft is going to make a new version of the HoloLens. But the reason Microvision is running so much is because people are thinking like, well, if they're going to make a new version of this, why would they not use Microvision? And so they'll probably just use Microvision. And that explains why Microvision all of a sudden here just exploded on this news. I mean, within 20 minutes, the stock went from $13.65 to now $18.20. I mean, we're up, $4 to $5 here. And so that's why this stock is pumping as much as it is here. Now, it's a 10-year contract, so it's going to be a while. But imagine this, if they have 120,000 headsets, right? 120,000 headsets, and let's say each one has a Microvision chip, and I don't know how much the Microvision chip is, but let's say the Microvision chip is $400 as a cost to Microsoft, okay? $400 would be $48 million of revenue for Microvision. Folks, Microvision right now, go back to where was it? Here we go. They have no revenue. $48 million over 10 years would be like $4.8 million of revenue per year. That's more than what they had in 2019. This one time they had revenue here. More than they that's just here's the year. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's 5,000 or 5.3 million in 2019. It probably bumped all of their revenues substantially. I mean, certainly from zero, it increased substantially. But anyway, the point is, this is a big contract and it's a big deal. Now, we don't know for sure if the Microvision chip is going to be the one that they end up using. And that's the danger here on this stock. So if you're like, oh, I want to buy Microvision stock because it's up 50% today, fine. But keep in mind that if it comes down to that Microvision chip is not in this modified military chip, this stock plummets. Probably not far, though. I mean, maybe just back to where it was before we thought it was going to be a part of this this contract, right? So it's also possible that a lot of traders are going to get into this. So keep that in mind. Now, this stock has run up to $24 in the past without any kind of news, like without this kind of merger talk or whatever. So you do have a volatile stock here. You've obviously got a big movement today. A 50% movement today is absolutely insane, though most of that movement has already been had. Most of that movement came within the first, 15, probably even 10 minutes here. Was probably most of the movement here. Now, when I see stuff like this, I always try to send out alerts as soon as possible in the programs linked down below. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that personally I would jump on this. So I didn't say I was buying this. So just full transparency, I don't own any Microvision shares. I would probably. I see. I'm speculating in terms of how much they sell this chip for. Like, what if the chip's only $100 part? I mean, maybe it'll give them a leg up in trying to sell their business to somebody else. But they've got some great technology. The other flip side is, what if Microsoft is like, yeah, we're going to use a different LiDAR company because they're cheaper or whatever. It's competition to consider too. So the 10-year contract, remember, is not with Microvision. It's with Microsoft. So Microsoft gets the benefit of the contract. Microvision right now is trading on hope that Microvision keeps using them as a chip supplier. So keep that in mind. It's a little too risky for me, but we'll keep an eye on the Skyrocket. On the flip side, we do have Biden speaking in about 40 minutes, which I will be live for a Biden's event in 40 minutes. We'll be covering a Biden's event. Obviously, we're going to cover Biden's event. Excuse me. Here, what we'll do too, just so you have it, and I want to do the market close. We'll look at the other sticks here as well. Just one sec. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly link the infrastructure live stream here in the pinned comment. So Biden live at 4:20 p.m. Eastern here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to just quickly pin that so that way you have that link. You could tab it open. You could keep that open if you want, because that's where we're going to move this live stream once it's time for Biden to talk to us. All right, now let's go ahead and take a peek at what else is happening. Folks, it's a green day. Let's start at red, though. So Ubiquity is at 303. It did break under 300 a couple times throughout the day today. We've got Clever, the marijuana stock, just getting burned. Now, marijuana does go in big cycles, big media cycles. We have been out of a big media cycle for the MJs, so to speak, for a while here, at least a couple months. So I think patience will be rewarded at the marijuana stocks. We have BlackBerry that's down about 10%. PaySafe. Oh, look, the merger happened. BFT has officially become PaySafe, and we've got a big sell the news sort of day here, down 8.5% as traders kind of get out of SPACs. Very common to see that, by the way, with SPACs. When the merger happens, you see a fall. Okay, we've in terms of other red here, not terrible amounts of red. We've got Canoes down a couple percent. Pretty oversold, in my opinion. We'll see how Canoe ends up reacting along with Churchill Capital after Biden speaks and we start learning more details of this infrastructure plan. We've got some other miscellaneous red here and some of the recovery stocks. But most of the stocks that we're seeing today, a lot of the market is significantly higher than what we've been used to seeing over the past few weeks here. We've got Bitcoin over $59,000, really struggling to get over $60,000. Keeps bouncing off that. Good resistance at 60K between 59 and 60 here. We'll see how that plays. Speaking of play, Dave & Buster's does report earnings today. So we'll see if we can catch the Dave & Buster's earnings. And, last time I looked at Dave & Buster's earnings, their comp store sales were down like 70%. So we'll obviously want to see a substantial improvement on Dave & Buster's. Tomorrow, Chipotle is announcing something regarding Bitcoin and burritos. We don't know what. We assume that maybe you can pay with Bitcoin using your app. That would be, creative. Would be one of the first retailers to do that. I think that'd be neat. We've got Etsy's only up 2%. It actually was up more earlier throughout the day. Only up 2% right now. We do have Apple up 2% as well. Qualcomm 2%, eBay 2%, Yelp 2%, Dropbox 2%. We've got, let's see here. Planet 13's up 3%. Aurora Cannabis up 3%. Snowflake up 3.5% along with Zoom. Very nice. Got DocuSign. Nice. DocuSign dipped under 200 there for a period of time. And now it is up 3.7-ish% today. Walgreens was up more today. It was up as high as 6%. And now it's down to about an increase of 3.89%. Neo up 4%. Very good. Getting out of that 35 range. Beyond Meat breaking 130 again. Tattooed Chef up 4% today. I said yesterday, this should be a $20 stock, hands down, and we are heading back to $20, and I believe that. I think that's great. Redfin and Lemonade both up 4%, along with Unity, Shift, EXPI, MP Materials, all up in the 4% range. Look at Tesla, folks. We were almost at 669 at 5% up on Tesla. We're actually, oh, wow, look at that dip right there, that dip number. Here, there you go. Look at that dip that Tesla had here on the minute chart. 666.66. That was the low of this last minute candlestick here. But we are definitely, even though we might be red candlesticking right now here, we are definitely up on Tesla in the day here with a 5% rally following yesterday's 4% rally. Really impressive. I mean, if this continues, Lauren's going to be getting a new house. Remember, we've got that challenge that all Tesla has to do is hit $750 by April 30th, and Lauren gets to negotiate her deal. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. It's one of the reasons we're setting that bet too, because I'm in favor of that happening, obviously. So as opposed to the opposite. Matterport, we added to this yesterday. We're just, I think it was 1290. We're up 5.5% today. Affirm rebounding. Affirm and C3 AI, both pretty juicy and cheap still, though, relative to their own recency. We've got Peloton up 6% today. It's kind of been bobbing around 6% today. I think Peloton, honestly, and I know this sounds crazy, but I think Peloton's oversold. So good opportunity there in Peloton. We've got Xpeng at 7.2%. Pinterest, wow, Pinterest going to $74, up 7.5%. Awesome. It's one of my favorites. along with Square here. Square's pretty much maintained about 7% throughout the day. Voyager Digital is almost up 7%. It's another one. That's a Voyager Digital is a play that I've got like 300K in, 325 or something like that. So very cool. I mean, that's a neat Bitcoin stock. I like to think of it as. If you don't know what the heck Voyager Digital is, go to metkevin.com/Voyager, because I'm also an affiliate there. So full disclosure. But they will give you $25 if you sign up for Voyager. What's this breaking news? Hold on.
Substantial cut in production at several of its plants here in North America. This is the list of the production cuts. We're not going to go through all of them, but these are substantial. For 2 weeks, the Dearborn truck plant, that's where they build the F-Series pickup truck, the most popular truck here in the United States, the most popular vehicle in terms of sales. They're going to be down for 2 weeks, the week of April 5th, the week of April 12th. They're also going to be cutting production at the Kansas City assembly plant on the truck side, the Louisville assembly plant, that's where they make SUVs for a couple of weeks. The Oakville assembly complex will be down the week of April 12th, 19th, and 26th. The question is, what is the bottom line in terms of this chip shortage and the impact on production and ultimately the impact on the bottom line? Remember, the previous guidance from Ford is that the chip shortage this year would have an impact of $1 to $2.5 billion in terms of cutting into the profits of the company.
It's not going to be good for Tesla either.
But they do make it a point in this release in saying when they report Q1 earnings and financial results April 28th, that's when they will update their guidance. So look for Ford to update their guidance in terms of the chip shortage impact at that time. Guys, back to you.
All right, very well. Is the volume okay, by the way? If we could just get a quick volume check, I just appreciate that. I've been trying to perfect the levels here. All right, what else do we have here? So Enphase, oh yeah, let's go. Enphase, 8%. Come on, folks. Man, who remembers how painful it was to buy these things? It was so painful to buy these things when they just kept going down and down and down and down. And, now we are seeing those numbers that we like seeing. These are the days you just sit here and go, thank you. Hard work pays off. Wow. I mean, ChargePoint, 20%. This is so wonderful. We just bought into the chargers 2 days ago. They were at like their lowest levels ever. They were up yesterday. They're up again today. This is very, very exciting. These are not the times, in my opinion, to necessarily buy, but there are some things that are still oversold. In my opinion, Tesla being one of those. Pinterest just exceeded my target. Square, 230, it's okay. Better at 210, 200. Enphase at 162, in my opinion, still a bargain. Palantir 2343, still a bargain in my opinion. Piton cheap at 113. Tesla's cheap where it is. Neo's a bargain where it is. Lemonade is cheap where it is. You gotta see like bargain then cheap, right? And then okay. Kind of going in reverse order there. So what else? CCIV is cheap. Still too much uncertainty baked into that one to really call it a bargain. So you have higher risk on CCIV, of course, but higher potential too. So let's see. Wayfair 315, too pricey. API cheap, also has some risk. We really got to see Clubhouse really develop more. Canoe's risky, so I'd call this one cheap, not a bargain. And Ubiquity, that's getting to be a bargain. Like that's between cheap and bargain. Yeah, you've got some bad press today, which is exactly why we bought it. I bought a little bit of it at like $2.99. But anywho, so it might have been like right at 300. I was executing an option on it. So, well, actually, I was buying an option on it. So I wasn't actually buying. Got to use the right verbiage. Anywho, so let's see what's going on here. We got we've got the market closes in 9 minutes. We have Dave & Buster's earnings today. Let's take a quick peek at this.
Materials companies that could be beneficiaries of what the administration plans on doing, and that, of course, is big infrastructure. But there is also a plan on how to pay for it. Made in America tax plan. They say will help pay for the spending package over the course of 15 years and could involve a corporate tax rate increase from 21% to 28%. Will also increase the minimum tax on multinational corporations to 21%, which would be calculated on a country-by-country basis. Let me get to Larry Kudlow right now already, Larry, you see some all-American stocks benefiting from what could be this big opportunity for them. But you also know that there will be tax hikes if it does go through with Congress to pay for this. Can you really please all the people all the time?
Well, you can if you quit raising taxes and punishing America's companies that hire workers, including, by the way, these steel companies or material companies you're pointing out. Because once they see their new tax bill, they're not going to be happy. Look, this to me, this is job killing stuff. And the beneficiary of this corporate tax plan and the whole tax plan in general will help China. It won't help the United States. Ooh. Firms will try to move out of here, or they won't invest at all. I mean, the capital gains tax is doubled on top of the corporate tax increase, on top of the international minimum tax increase. That is a very big hit, Liz Klayman, to companies' profits. And by the way, in the stock market, PEs are going to get hurt. I'm amazed the market hasn't reacted much to this. Maybe it thinks it's not.
Larry, you want to know why? Because when Biden got elected, we already priced that in. We're like, okay, Biden got in. It means corporate tax rates are going to go up to 28% at some point. Like, the market priced that in a long time ago, bro. Broski, Larry-ski. That's old news. Old news.
And I would just repeatedly point out that all of this is happening with some of the largest, most obsessed upon growth stocks in anywhere from a 10 to 15% drawdown from their peak prices. In many cases, peak prices that occurred months and months ago. So if you're somebody that is relatively new to markets, just instinctively, you would probably believe more stocks making new highs is better than just a few stocks. And that's exactly the situation we're in. You had this big cyclical rally, but now here's what's interesting today. Now, large cap growth has entered the chat. And you take a look at the leaderboard today, and you have a lot of these names that are trying very hard to bottom that have not been helping the rally so far start to bust a move higher. And so that could be the next leg of a bull market for the overall index if you get more of that. So Square Up having a big day today. Shopify having a big day today. Zoom and DocuSign seem to be trading in lockstep. Those two trying to find a bottom, both up 3% today.
All right. Yeah, Zoom and DocuSign, they've hit some lows, but they've also recovered from their bottoms. I don't think they're trying to find bottoms anymore because they're coming off bottoms. He could have said 2 days ago that they were trying to find bottoms. That would have been correct. But I think they found their bottoms because both of them are up like 4 or 5% right now. So what else do we have here? Pay safe, sell off. I mean, otherwise things are pretty similar here. Airline sell off is accelerating a little bit. Churchill Capital is just dancing around this 1.5% decline. Kind of boring over here in decliner world. Kind of boring in the middle of the map here too. Recovery's not like jumping up and down. You got Dave & Buster. Where to go? Dave & Buster's at $48. Be interesting to see what those earnings are. That should be really fascinating. We've got Etsy's only now 1.5%. So Etsy kind of given up over here into the end, into the close. So is Apple. Oh, gosh. Yeah, look at Apple here. Hold on. Let's zoom in on that. Some nice selling off here on Apple right into the close. We've got Microsoft. Microsoft, the news of that military deal, really not moving here. Very, very, very little movement, actually. Jeez. So we're coming up on, obviously, the close in the next 4 minutes here. And right now we are obviously celebrating as well this Microvision partner or run on news of the Microsoft deal with the military to provide hollow headsets over the next 10 years. We do not have confirmation that Microvision's chip will be a part of the next generation HoloLens, specifically made for the military. But we do know that the Microvision chips are presently in those headsets. And so that is one of the reasons why, it's probably the only reason why Microvision is up 50% here. It would really take Microvision from no revenue to substantial revenue. Well, I shouldn't say substantial. Certainly a few $1 million of revenue per year from that one contract alone, which is an order of a magnitude higher than zero in 2020. Enphase almost at 8%. We've got Voyager's at 8%. Li Auto at 8%. Voyager really running here into the close. Nice run into the close on Voyager. A little bit of a sort of a temporary dip here, but returning to those highs that we had earlier today. Hydrofarm, ChargePoint. The big thing will be how's ChargePoint going to behave? And how are some of these stocks going to behave tomorrow and in after hours when we listen to Joe Biden? Joe Biden is expected to be discussing the infrastructure package and unveiling it within the next 23 minutes. They are notoriously late, but I will be covering it. That tends to be the case for almost every president I've covered. They tend to be late. So let's see here. Okay, Liata Invite is up 9% today. A little bit of a red candlestick there going into the close. Let's listen to this little preview we're getting here from CNBC on the infrastructure plan.
Stocks that we're accustomed to seeing lead the market for at least the last 15 years. Like, you really have to go back to 2005 to see these stocks even being important in terms of their weighting in the S&P. So they did need a breather, and they are being discovered by a new generation of investors who for 10 years have had no reason to even look at them. So for that reason, I don't think the rally in the cyclical parts of the economy, the industrials and materials specifically, is over. But let's just acknowledge big money has been made since the election in these stocks.
Now, do you think things are priced in already on this front?
I think in the short run, they are. And this is the issue, because every street firm is coming out with lists, how to play the electrification, how to play the water supply. Let's remember, this is going to be spent over if he does get his $2 trillion. And so far, he's been pretty good in getting what he wants from Congress. But it's over 8 years. And so the priorities have to be established. All the constituencies, local, state, and government have to be consulted, because it's going to be a while before you have contracts. Meanwhile, these stocks are discounting, that all this is going to happen. So I think if you're going to play names, you look at names like CAT, which is a play on the economic reflation around the world, but will also no doubt be a big beneficiary of any infrastructure play, but it's going to be longer term. So I think, Josh is right to be hesitant in naming names, because, most of them probably are discounting best news for the next, 5 years. So I would wait for a pullback on some of these, and wait for unveiling of timing on implementation of this plan.
We have just under 1 minute left of the session,
there's
and we
a lot of
are
stuff
on
in here.
track. Apologies, Josh.
Yeah. Well, okay, we do have about 40 seconds left in the market here. So let's just go back to the chart here. So we are at 51% on Microvision, ChargePoint 19%, Gevo 12%, really came out of the woodworks there. Nice run on Gevo, Blink 11.6%, CLII, another one of the charging plays up. Voyager Digital about 8%, now 8%. Invite 8.56%. We are going into the close here. Here we go. Here it is.
And economy continues to accelerate. You're going to see more loan growth. Yeah. Credit trends are obviously much better than anybody anticipated, thanks to obviously all various government support programs. And then just opening trades, right? So economies reopening.
Looks like PaySafe ringing the bell, cheering that 10% decline in their stock. I'm sorry, that's mean. I shouldn't have said that.
Has to come, and that's not necessarily reflected in earnings yet.
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong. There we go.
And that's a wrap on the quarter. I was just clarifying here. We did close at a record high. I wanted to make sure before we said it, a record close for the S&P 500 on this final day of the month. Welcome back to Closing Bell, everyone. I'm Sarah Eisen along with Wilfred Frost. Take a look at how we finished overall on Wall Street. Little dip into the red for the Dow on the close, down 82 points there. As you can see, after trading higher most of the day, S&P 500 up 0.4%. And that would make a record close. If you look at what sectors led us there today, it was actually technology, which has underperformed.
Yeah, buddy, it's that re-rotation. Such bullcrap.
Performers on the day. Energy lagged, but energy had the best quarter overall of 29% on the year.
So true, John Daly. Bye-bye, March. You won't be missed. What a crap month, huh, folks?
And while it's been a bumpy ride this quarter for the NASDAQ, we are still higher year to date for the overall index, less than 3%. The Russell 2000 also jumped 1% into the close and has also been seeing some nice gains as we've seen this rotation into value and cyclical stocks. It's up more than 12% so far for the quarter and the year as we ended out. Investors are now awaiting President Biden's economic proposal.
20 minutes, folks. We will be covering it. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how things close. We've got Microvision at, and remember, go to that pinned comment really quick. and tab it open so you have the other live stream for when Biden speaks. All of you should be there. So what do we got? We've got Microvision closed 50.6% up. It is down about 0.5% here in after hours. ChargePoint up 18.8, down about a third. Gevo flat in the afters, but almost up to $10, going up 12.5%. Today, Blink up 11%. Moderna up 10%, probably because of this news of high efficacy on vaccinations in children, along with Pfizer. I would anticipate Pfizer to be somewhere around here. Let's pull them really quick. Pfizer. Oh, well, actually, no. Pfizer only went up 0.5% today, about 0.6%. I'm sorry, 0.06%, so flat in the after hours. Invitae up 8.44%. Looks like it had a little bit of a sell-off there going into the close. It did. A nice sell-off going into the close on Invitae. The Chargers just killing it, folks, rallying into the close before this Biden discussion. Remember, we've been buying these Chargers as of Monday, which fortunately was rock bottom pricing for Chargers. And we were buying those at metkevin.com/Chargers. metkevin.com/Chargers. Here, metkevin.com/Chargers. And you get this nice M1 Pi. I don't manage your money here, but it gives you all the charging plays here. You get a bit of Tesla, TPG, CLII, Blink, ChargePoint, and SNPR, which are obviously our charging plays here. There are a couple others. Not all of them were available on M1 Finance, though. Xpeng up 8%, Li Auto up 8%. Where's NEO today? Oh, wow. Square ends up 6.66%. Actually sells off a little bit into the close. Pinterest up 6.84%. We've got Affirm, rock bottom pricing still, but up 6.52%. Palantir 5.6%. Matterport's up 5%. Tesla ends up 5%, currently at about 666, down a tad in the after hours. Peloton up almost 5%. On the day here at 112. NEO up 3.9%, down 0.25% in the after hours. NVIDIA up 3.7%. Walgreens up 3.6%, right there with Lemonade Insurance and Redfin, all about 3.5%. Tattooed Chef and Shift Beyond Meat, all about 3.25%. Airbnb 2.6%. And then we really get into the losers of the day, which were Ubiquity, on talk of a data breach at Ubiquity and a lawsuit related to that. Really bad news. I did pick up a small option on Ubiquity just because I think under 300, it's a little oversold for this company. I will dive deeper into some of the allegations and certainly the company's response over the next few days. But this is a company that I've been eyeing on, doubling down on for a while, and I certainly didn't double down today, but I did add an option, which does give me some leverage on my buy here. Clever, burning the leaves, down 12%. Not sure if it's a cyclical. It must not be a rotation in marijuana because the other ones are all up about 3%. So Clever's earnings just disappointed, maybe missing on that growth, but we'll have to do a deeper dive there to figure out exactly what's going on. Churchill Capital down 1.4%, and the airlines all roughly down about 1.4% as well. Let's go ahead and try to pull up earnings. We've got XL Fleets, which I'm not super jazzed on XL Fleets, but we've also got Dave & Buster's, and we've got Arcimoto. We're going to go ahead and pull those up. Let me just quickly pull this here. What I'm going to do very, very quickly is I'm just going to look at the short interest of those three companies. Arcimoto is at 26%. Dave & Buster's is at 18.31% short. And XL, which is probably my least favorite out of these three here, it's at 8.77. We do have earnings expected to come out on each of these. And as soon as we get these earnings, we'll maybe do another look at the sticks. And then we've got to run to a Biden's event. So we've got Dave & Buster's, we've got XL, and we have FUV, the Fun Utility Vehicle, which in case you want to learn more directly from the CEO, I do have an interview on the channel with the CEO of Arcimoto, the Fun Utility Vehicle. Okay, Dave & Buster's data is in. Dave & Buster's reports with a loss of $1.19 per share, expected 1.25, so they beat on EPS by a little bit. Revenue came in at 116 million. They recognized the loss of $56.8 million. And we've got, let's see here, comp sales came in at negative 70% versus, that's what I said earlier. I'm like, earlier, they better be better than 70%. Wall Street was estimating negative 72.7%. They came in at 70%. Still not good. Not good. I would have expected or hoped for a little bit better there. Oh wait, there we go. Q4 sales at fully operational comp store sales were 52% of 2019 sales. Good. That's better. 52% for those that were fully open. The company-wide was negative 70%. So much, much, much better. Oh, wow. And their Q1 revenue forecast is really good. They're expecting Q1 revenue of $210 to $220 million. And that is substantially above. That's about $60 million more than the $164 million that the street was expecting on earnings there. Let's go ahead and pull and see how this stick is reacting to that news. The stick. So these sticks. See how Dave & Buster's. That forecast looks good. Yeah. Look at that. There we go. 5.7 to 6%. That forecast was really, really, really good. And that note about fully operational stores, good job, Dave & Buster's. That's much better than seeing that negative 70% number. So good job, Dave & Buster's. All right, let's go ahead and see what else is going on while Dave & Buster's does its thing here in the after hours. We also, it looks like, let's see, no earnings yet on XL. No earnings yet on FUV, although FUV has filed a recall this morning of 181 vehicles. That probably led to that 7-ish% sell-off we saw this morning briefly. Or was it, that might have been yesterday. I might be blending with yesterday. We did temporarily see a sell-off at FUV, and their stock was down today. Somebody mentions that IDEX also reported. We'll go, FUV is in an hour, so we're going to miss that if that's in an hour. IDEV reports full year fiscal. Okay, here we go. It just came out 3 minutes ago. So let's see here. Okay, revenue was 26.8 million for IDEX, Ideanomics. 26.8 million with sequential quarter-over-quarter growth, demonstrating growing strength of the business. EV revenue in 2020 was 19.5 million versus 2.7 million in 2019, an increase of more than 600%. First sales of charging and battery systems, a part of the EV ecosystem that is very important to Ideanomics business model. We expect revenues from charging systems to grow as Wave, our inductive charging business acquired in January 2021, is included in our financial results starting in this quarter. It's pretty bullish. So acquisition, okay, what do we got here? 165 million in cash, way more than they used to have. Current liabilities, only 13 million. I mean, they're well capitalized and substantial revenue here. I mean, look at here. I'll pull up the revenue here really quick. Look at the revenue sheet here. Revenue from third parties, 26 mil versus 1.2 mil from a year before. And their net came in at a net loss of 106 mil. It's a lot. Loss from operations. Geez, where's the operations money going? Oh, an impairment loss. Oh, okay, well, impairment loss, I would have to dig in to see what the impairment loss was for. That could have been a change in market value of a company they acquired or something. So that makes the loss a little bit more hard to sort of calculate and see what's going on. Let's see how that one is behaving in the after hours, though. So IDEX. And Dave & Buster's just gave up its gains in the after hours here, where it's about flat now in the after hours, whereas IDEX is up 10.2% here. Geez, $3.20 stock here. What is the I have to admit, I don't know much about this company. Ideanomics, empowering a new economy. Okay. What do you guys do? Divisions? Mobility. What is this? All right. EV opportunity. Look, we know EV is important. Are they a charger? Yeah, comprehensive EV solutions. Let me look at their security. Hold on. Let's look at their description really quick. Does somebody have a good short description on what IDEX? Electric tractors? Is that right? John Deere of EV? Really? Okay, well, they're showing chargers for like normal cars. Ideanomics as a fintech company focuses on facilitating the adoption of commercial electric vehicles and developing next generation financial services. Ideanomics electric vehicle division provides group purchasing discounts on commercial EVs. Okay, so sounds like really okay. Trying to electrify the commercial. Okay. I somewhat understand that. electric trucks too. Wireless charging for EVs. You know, good luck with that. Inductive charging isn't quite there yet. We'll see. You know, we have inductive. You know, we've had inductive. You know where we've had inductive charging for a very, very long time? Toothbrushes. The electric toothbrushes, the ones you put into the Braun toothbrushes that I've basically had my entire life. Like, I remember being 6 years old and like, how does it charge? It doesn't plug in. It's crazy. Now I think it's all Oral-B. I think Braun's kind of gone. But anywho, yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. Changing the financial landscape. So capital, I imagine, is some kind of lending division. This is interesting to learn more on this company. I don't know enough about this company to really speak well here. But yeah, this is their earnings release here. So here, let's look at their really quick presentation. Why do I have to fill this crap out to get your investor presentation? It's so annoying. It could be an SEC thing, whatever. Okay, yep, here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Submit. Okay, here we go. Got it. Investor relations presentation. So let's take a quick peek at this. We don't have long. We do not have long. Because Biden's about to come up. Please just download the file. It is not that hard. Did it? That's DOMA. Oh my gosh. I don't understand why it's so hard to do that. Whatever. It's pissing me off. So we'll just come back to it. Deonomics, IDX giving up a little bit of that after hours movement. Discovery up 82% today, but down 8% in the after hours. Clever's coming back with about 1% in the after hours. Peloton up 0.5%. Dave & Buster's only up 0.5% now. Ubiquity's pretty flat here in the after hours. We got QuantumScape's up 7% in the after hours, and CLII down 3%, along with Enphase down 0.5%. Wow. All right, folks. We've got a lot of excitement coming up here very shortly. I apparently still cannot get this investor presentation to download. So I guess I could try Safari really quick. There we go. Oh, sure. Safari's going to work instantly, but Chrome won't work. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right. So usually I don't like looking at these investor presentations, but I don't understand what it is that they do. So I'm going to cheat. 100% solar electric tractors, buses. This was the wireless charging. That's right. Okay. So multiple companies here together, bringing real estate process to the 21st century. Gosh, these people do a little bit of everything. Oh, this is going to take a while to undig exactly what they do here. Serving high electric mopeds. Oh my gosh, they just do everything. What is this? Our own brands, which cover 3 market segments. Okay. Yeah, this is going to take some battery swap programs, charging as a service. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. I got to go to Biden, folks. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you in the next one.